What's up, guys? In today's video, I'll be comparing the traditional branded Synchro deck and Joshua Schmidt's recent YCS winning Runick Bystial deck. So these are the two deck lists I'll be using for today, with obviously Joshua Schmidt's winning one, and then my most recent up-to-date list, which is mostly just changing around a couple non-engine just from like the last deck list I made. Make sure to check that out below, I guess, like if you like some of the stuff from there. When just like looking at the list in general, just the way like they've been made, I feel like I have like a pretty cool side deck with like the bells and the talent for going first, like defending against the Bystials. Well, Josh doesn't have that. He has like a couple of other things, mostly just as defensives into like other matchups, and so like these function or far more versatile than just running hard going first cards. Is like you had even the option to run them going second to even like specific matches, which I think is really good. And I really do like the dualities in this list, as it not like the power duality, but just this duality, as it like tributes off like a guy to like dodge hand traps, like on a Hugin, summon out a guy, set your graveyard to summon a Bystial, and then just be able to draw some cards as well, which I think is really nice. And just the other thing that I don't really like about this is it just runs like a lower amount of non-engine, but it seems to have done like surprisingly not needed. So it just tells you like how important engine is over like hand traps this format, which is definitely a thing I'll be talking about a little more during this. So just like a general comparison between the two, not exactly like a negative or positive between them, is the Brand Cinco seems to have more explosive combos, as it has a playstyle to just set up bigger boards than a Runick deck. Most Runick decks that are being played right now, if at all, are not setting up the hugest boards unless it's like Splight Runick, which that one does it just for like the Runick cards if you play it. But besides that, having cards like Brand Fusion and then just having extra cards to just combo with, like in white, Cartesia Albaz into Albion the Brand Dragon, so now Titanic Lad, make a seal, just far stronger in that sense. But the advantage of playing the Runick cards is being able to have these situational pieces of non-engine, like the flashing fire, freezing curses, and destruction, just being able to help you out a lot going second, which is definitely something Joshua Schmidt had to have done to like be able to like break through these boards and not exactly relying on hand traps. So meaning people weren't setting up super insane boards that like he couldn't crack. Another thing between them, which is like more of a negative for Brand Synchro, is that like the hands do rely more on like 2 to 3 card combos instead of like the Runick deck, which can just draw into the pieces like more consistently. So you have like stuff like Found, Cold Dragon, Triad Master, Regained. Just draw a bunch of cards and find what they're looking for. And though we do have Regained too, it's like, I mean, you're less likely to see it. And also, this deck plays 2 Regains, so you're even more likely to see it. But yeah, Ren Synchro needs more combo pieces. Like in this hand, for example, which was also in this combo, it was just High Spirit, Lubellion, Saronir, and like, the 2 extra non-engine hand with the Nib Imperm. And we were able to get to a field as strong as that, but you did need a couple of cards to do it. Though, like, if you have like a Quem here, you only need like one of these 2 Bystials to actually combo off, and the combos can be like quite strong as well. The advantages between the both of the decks is that, number one, even though like he topped the event, I still feel like it's gonna take time for people to like understand these decks, even if at all. Like maybe this is just like a one-time thing, and no one's really gonna play it, and then just surprise, it comes back again, it does really well. That's still gonna be a major advantage, especially for just Brand Synchro, like hasn't really had a very major event success, and even so, like the lists I've seen are just so different. Like even mine, Though I try to think mine is like the superb list. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. And then the amount of plays that I can have just due to the Bystials being able to extend from the hand constantly. So you always have like a kind of play, like you're always in the game, which is like, it feels so good to have that feeling, and Bystials can do that. And if you decide to run it in like the Brand Synchro deck, there's also Chaos Angel, which is another surprise factor, which I thought of like a couple times. It's like if you're like Kit or your Spingin's Kit or All Buys gets like stopped, you can like summon a Bystial and then make this, which is like really unexpected, even more than making a Baron in a branded deck. But Joshua Schmidt also runs it in his, and with the light tuners, you also get a run. You also get the protection as well, which just makes this card even more powerful. The disadvantages of both decks. So there's not actually that much orange in both. Like technically, I do have like a lot in the Brand Synchro deck, just with all the Bystials, and then just the 9 salt, like the 9 normal non-engine I'm running. So that's kind of nice. And then there's like only 3 with the Runick just because of how much you have to play, because you need to see a bunch of Runicks to combo. And even some like just don't grant you that. Like if you don't have like a Slumber plus another Runick, you're not doing anything turn 1. But there's also Tip in that in turn 1, which as well. And then like the boards, though Brand Synchro can make just insanely cracked boards, which can be super hard to break, they're mostly made for follow up. So like if your opponent has a decent hand, they can definitely get through and like really hurt you, especially with like a couple Bystials when you set up a seal, or like a Fenrir when you only really have this, or it's like awkward to bounce back because you didn't get to the regained. It can be really tough. So that is it for my comparison between both of these decks. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.